It has been a while, so in today's episode, I am going to catch you up on most of the things that I have been working on since my last podcast. So let's get to it. Hello, all of my knitting friends. Welcome back. My name is Christie of Christie Archer Designs, and this is my knitting podcast. It has been since January 24th since my last podcast. And I have never gone this long without podcasting before. I do apologize. There has been a lot going on in my world. So I am going to share all of my knitting, not all of my knitting. I'm going to share most of the projects that I have been working on, have finished, and then at the end of the video, I am going to catch you up on what I have been up to, and I am going to show you what has been taking up most of my time. So if you are interested, make sure you stay to the end. And now I'm gonna jump right into it. Has been a minute, so where am I going to start? I'm going to start with finished objects. And the first finished object I'm going to show you is, and if anyone is interested, it is Tuesday, April 3rd, I believe is what my camera says. Sorry, April 8th. That's what happens when I don't use my glasses. Okay, so it has been since January 23rd, so it's been a bit. So anyway, I hope that didn't mess up the mic. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to talk about, I'm not sure, I believe this was the first thing that I finished. Sorry, I'm checking my notes since it has been so long. I believe this is the first thing I finished since my last podcast. So yeah, so this is the Monday sweater by PetiteKnit, and I have been saving this yarn for a few years now. I bought it. It's a Knit Picks yarn. Let's go to my other notes. I'm working off of two sets of notes, so forgive me. This was the Kindred DK in the colorway Saltwater. This yarn is no longer available, so I have been hoarding it for the perfect project, and the Monday sweater just seemed to be it. I wanted something that's going to stand the test of time. And this yarn, I wish they had not discontinued it. It is amazing. I wish I remembered. I don't have my ball band with me, but anyway, it is an amazing yarn. I do know it has cotton in it, and I think it has alpaca in it, but I can't remember. But just a very basic, all around yummy sweater. I have worn it. It is not pilling at all. I am very pleased with this. Let's see, Monday sweater, PetiteKnit. The gauge that I got was 21.7, 22 stitches per 4 inches. I made the size small, which is usually what I make with PetiteKnit. It gives me plenty of positive ease without being gigantic. So anyway, I'm sure I made minor, I know, okay, I was trying to think of the modifications I made. I did not do the German short row shaping for the neck because I have discovered that I do better without the shaping because I have what is referred to as a sway back. So when I do the shaping for the neck, I end up so much longer in the back because actually my back length is shorter than my front length. So I have unless I just think the project really needs it as far as shape is concerned, I've been omitting the short rows here recently. So anyway, let's see. Okay, the other modification I made is for my increases. I did, instead of, I believe in this one, I know she does this a lot, she'll do 1 stitch marker per raglan. I'm sorry, 2 stitch markers per raglan, so she has a center stitch, and then she does a make one on either side of that. I believe that's what this pattern called for as well. I do 1 stitch marker with a stitch on each side, so I have a 2 stitch raglan, and then I do lifted increases instead of make ones, and this is what it looks like. It looks like you have a 3 stitch raglan, just because of the way the the lifted increases do. So that is, and if I'm not mistaken, on this one, I did, I think I did right lifted increases on both sides so that I didn't get that hole kind of effect. And it really does just give a super tidy, neat finish. I really, really like that. Everything else was pretty much to pattern. I probably didn't, no, I think I did. Yeah, I think I did everything to pattern. So that is my delicious Monday sweater, and I am obsessed with it. A lot of it has to do with the yarn. I may hit Ravelry and see if anybody else has that same yarn in their stash in a different color and buy as much of it as I can, because where I live here in the desert, it is the best yarn. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. From there, I am going to quickly talk about a couple of my sewing projects, and then I'll get back into my knitting projects. And the reason is all of that is kind of a collection I've been working on. So I'll come back to that. But when I didn't bring them, I ordered off of Temu a bunch of knitting needle, interchangeable knitting needles. I was looking for a wooden set for a specific project, and I literally don't even remember now what it was, but while I was on there, I picked up 3 sets total, and then I picked up some needle cases and everything. Really happy with that, but the reason I'm telling you this is one of the sets of needles that I have is my Knit Picks Zing, no, Knitter's Pride Zing. I think it's Knitter's Pride Zings. I can't remember, whatever it is. This is the Knitter's Pride version, I'm pretty sure. It's been a long time since I bought them. Very seldom ever use them. But anyway, I made a cute little needle page to organize them. Some of them are being used on, my daughter's using these. But anyway, I thought it was really, really cute. And I have a basket that has all of my needles and cords and all of that good stuff. And so this just fits right down in there, and I love the way it turned out. So that was one project I made. And then I also have been wanting some super, super simple lounge pants / pajama pants. And I've heard a lot of people talk about the Pomona pant pattern. And so I got some fabric from the shop I used to work at and sewed me up a couple of them. My son bought this fabric for me. He's now working at the shop where I used to work. He kind of took my position and is helping the owner out. Hi Debbie, love you. And so anyway, this is one of my pair of Pomona pants, and these are the view with the tapered leg. I can't remember which view that is. And I did these full length. I am also going to go back and do some wide leg in a capri length just below my calves. And I'm going to do some of those in linen for the summertime. So I do have more of these planned. And then I did the pockets on the back. I don't know if you can really see, but pockets on the back. And yeah, solid cotton fabric, which is just the best. So these are great little lounge pants for around the house, which I very seldom ever leave the house. So these work out fantastic for me. I did modify, I have a short torso, so I did modify the crotch length. I think I took 2 inches off of the crotch length and then 2 inches off of the leg length. I think I'm gonna have to go back and add an inch to the leg length. They're long, they're full length, but they're not quite as long as I like them for around the house. But they do work, no problem. And then the second pair is, once again, fabric from the shop. So 100% quilters cotton. And I did not top stitch my waistband into place. What I did was I did a little, what would be like a paper bag waist, but not a long ruffle at the top. And then the reason I didn't sew the elastic in is I am really hoping to lose some weight. And when I do, I wanted to be able to make the elastic smaller, and then I'll go back and sew the elastic into place. But I haven't had any problems with them moving because it is a really tight fit in between that seam at the top and where I've sewn it into on the inside. So, and then I did the pockets on the bias. I thought that was really cute. And yeah, these are just, they're great pants. If you are looking for quick, easy sewing projects, or if you're a beginner, I highly recommend this. Now, I will say, I recommend the pattern with what I used. I just used the pattern pieces. I did not read the instructions. I have sewn almost my entire life. Really didn't need the pattern, but it's just so much easier than measuring and using my curved ruler and all of that stuff. So I bought the pattern and glad that I did. It just made it a super quick and simple project. I did make, and I'm hesitant on showing them, I did make a shorts version out of some linen fabric I had. I have worn them and I haven't ironed them. These have been worn and these have not been ironed, but linen after it has been washed, they look really bad as far as wrinkly. So I hesitate on showing them, but they turned out pretty cute. So I guess I'll show them, but yeah. They just look horrible. This is Robert Kaufman's Essex, yarn dyed Essex, and I believe the colorway was either tobacco or camel. I can't remember the color. I cannot remember the lines. Let's see, this came from Bella, if I'm not mistaken. What was that collection? And then my son picked up the foxes for me, so I don't remember that one either. So if you want to know what fabrics I used, message me. I can figure it out. I just don't have it off the top of my head. Last sewing project I'm going to share, and this one I'm so excited about. I've made these before. They are my absolute favorite. These are throw blankets, and talk about simple. And they are just the best to snuggle up with. So Robert Kaufman Essex yarn dyed in the color Sage, I believe. And then Camilla Ross Kelly's Which collection? Oh, Debbie. What collection? I know this collection. One of Camilla Ross Kelly's collections, which is manufactured by Moda. But anyway, it is this beautiful, if you can't tell, I love blue and green. This beautiful cotton, quilter's cotton on this side, and then the linen on this side. And it is just, I just take the width of the fabric, which on this one, the ones I've done in the past, I've done the Essex on both sides. And the Essex is wider than a quilter's cotton. So this one's a little bit smaller, but I just took the full fabric width of the floral and I did 2 yards. You will have to pre-wash if you're using 2 different fabrics. Because the quilter's cotton is going to shrink at a different rate than the linen cotton. But anyway, so I've washed both of them, and then you literally just sandwich them and then top stitch the edge all the way around. And it's my favorite. As a matter of fact, I've been missing it. I've been wanting to do this podcast for a very long time and just haven't been able to, but this has been just, it has weight to it, but it's not heavy. It just feels comforting. Again, if you've never sewn before and want a beginner project, this is super, super, super simple. So yeah, that is my throw. I can use it again, yay! And that is it for the sewing projects that I'm going to share. Next up, I'm going to share, okay, I'm going to start with this. This is a pair of vanilla socks that I made, and I have been, if you're not new here, you know I have been searching for a heel construction that works for my foot, and I have finally discovered it's not perfect, but it's really close. And I think it is as close as I'm going to get. So this is a vanilla sock with a boomerang heel. And this is done out of Knit Picks Stroll in black and white. And let me see if I can show you. The boomerang heel, the making of it is so much fun, and there's 0 holes to close up afterwards. So if you hate closing up holes in socks, you really need to try this sock, this heel construction. Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to see in the black, but there's 0 hole, 0. And yeah, so that is a super fun pair. They have been worn, they have been loved. I did wash them and block them again for the episode, but you can tell the yarns, or the halo of the threads are moving in on each other. But love, 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 love these. They fit fantastic. The next 2 I'm going to show, I cannot remember if I have shown in my last episode. So I'm just going to quickly talk about them. I think I may have. I am pretty sure I did. So I'm not going to talk about them. I will show them real quick just in case. If I didn't, tell me and I'll talk about them next time. But I made these to go with these for pajamas, and I am getting do I have a green? I can't remember. I may have the green t-shirt already for that. But anyway, pink and green, love it. This was just a me design. Vanilla sock with a heel flap and gusset, and then I added a ruffle, and those are fun, fun, fun. And then I'm pretty sure I talked about those, the Sorry Nordland Poet socks. This was such a fun pattern to knit up. Love it. Obsessed. That said, that moves me into my next ones. I decided I was having so much fun knitting the poet socks, or is that the ballad? Poet socks. Okay, those are the poet socks. Loved those. So I went back and bought the ballad socks, which has a larger, same design, same lace design, but in a larger scale. And I did not enjoy those. I didn't even make them. I started them and didn't make them, ripped them out. I'm a little bit OCD. My daughter's looking at me funny. And the way those were lined up on the front of the sock wasn't perfectly aligned, and it drove me crazy. I don't think anybody else notices or cares, but it bothered me. That said, I decided to design my own lace socks. And I was inspired by the book series, the Empyrean book series, the Fourth Wing book series. And so I have come up with a collection of 6 socks that are based off of characters in those books. So you do not have to be a Fourth Wing fanatic like me in order to enjoy these patterns, but it just makes it that much more exciting if you do. Okay, so the first to be released, and I do have pictures of this, so I will pop that up for you. When this video goes live, the pattern is available to purchase, or will be available to purchase when this video goes live. I had planned on doing it as an ebook, the entire collection, but at the end of the podcast, I'll talk about life circumstances, and I decided that was putting too much pressure on myself and the testers, so I've decided to release them individually. So the first, and I will pop up my inspirational photo. These are the Basgaith socks, which is the War College. And so there is the inspiration photo, and then I will pop up a photo of the socks, and this is them finished. And I love the way they turned out. They just look so good. All of these socks are designed with the boomerang heel. You can put in any heel you choose. You will just need to be comfortable with adding your own preferred heel construction. But anyway, Basgaith, and it will be available when you are watching this. The link will be in the description box below, along with all the other links to where you can find me and all of that good stuff. The Basgaith socks, the first ones I did were for my daughter, and she can finally have these back. She's been asking for them for a couple of months now. Her cold feet. So this was the first pair that I made, and I normally am very good about keeping up with yarn bands, but there has been so much going on in my life. This was yarn, I have talked about it on the website, on the podcast before. I bought this over a year ago when my husband and I went to, where did we go? Yeah, San Diego, but it wasn't really, it was like one of the outskirts cities of San Diego. I can't remember now. La Jolla? Was that it? May have been La Jolla, but anyway, this is yarn. This is an MCN fingering, and if you don't know, I am obsessed with MCNs. They are my favorite to knit socks with. But so this was that, but I really didn't want, for these lace socks, I really didn't want anything to distract from the lace itself, so I wanted to use solids. So after I did these and decided I was going to do an entire collection, I went to Wool & Company and ordered a bunch of Cascade Heritage in a bunch of different colors. So you will get to see them as they are made up. This is Cascade Heritage in the colorway. And the reason I'm hesitating, I got two different colorways that are very similar. One of them was Camel and the other, so let's see. Okay, so this is Camel. Huh? Yes, you may pass. My daughter needs to take the pups out. Okay, so this is Cascade Heritage and Colorway Camel, sorry. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but there is no hole. I mean, obviously that's lace right there, but I love this heel construction. And I hope that if you guys get these socks, you'll give at least one pair a try with the boomerang. Because yeah, it really is a great heel. So that is Basgaith. And next up, I can give those back to Fairy. Let's see, what am I gonna which one am I releasing next? I think the second one I'm going to be releasing is Flame Section. And the first one I made up, still testing the waters and everything on these lace socks, I did up in Cascade Heritage in white, and it has this fun little flame texture that I am obsessed with. This is really, really, really a beautiful texture. And then the one that I made another pair that will be done in the pattern, and this is in colorway Garnet Red. And I have got to go back and reknit, rip out and fix one of these because I did an extra repeat on the leg by accident. So I've got to rip out the foot all the way back to there and reknit. I have enough yarn. I think what I'm going to do is just reknit another sock correctly. And the other reason why I wanted to is, I don't know what happened. Okay, so there's one that looks fine. Something happened on this one and my stitches got really, really loose. So I'm going to either rip this one back and reknit it or knit a third sock. But anyway, love, love, love Flame Section. This will be the second one to be released. So this one is being released on the 9th, which is tomorrow. And then 2 weeks from there, I will be releasing Flame Section. And then from there, love this next one. This next one is Andarna. And this one is so fun to knit. And it is such a beautiful lace pattern. The knitters, my testers are doing such a great job on all of these. If you are a tester and watching, I deeply appreciate you. So this is Andarna. And that stitch pattern is just gorgeous. Obsessed. So this will be the third to be released. And then the fourth is going to be Feathertail. This one is really, really cute too. So this, I'm not talking about colors, sorry. Andarna is in butter. Was it just plain butter? Yeah, this is, these are all Cascade Heritage. And this one's in the colorway Butter. And then this is Feathertail in Peach Beige. And it is very peachy. Well, honestly, it has more pink to it than peach, but it's a beautiful color. So anyway, Feathertail. I've been having so much fun designing these. Okay, and then from there, let me go. Oh, and that I said the color on that one. Okay, so Basgaith Flame and Darna Feathertail. Next up is Violet, and I have one Violet sock done. It has not been blocked yet, but I do have it on a sock blocker. The other one is in the process. So that is it for FOs. We're gonna move into whips real quick, and dun, 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 dun. This is Violet, and this was to me reminiscent of her braid that she always has her hair in. Oops, there's something on there. So anyway, Violet, and I cannot tell you how much fun I'm having designing these socks. And then I've just got this little bit done of the next one. I kind of put it on hold because of life stuff. And okay, so that is it. And then the only other whip I'm going to talk about, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about two whips. The next whip I'm going to talk about is I am making the Maggie vest by PetiteKnit. And I have actually tried this in several different yarns and was not happy with any of the yarns until I used this one. And I'm very happy with this. So I just have the back going at this point. And this is Cascade Anker Bay. And this is in the colorway Moon. What was the name of the? Color 40. I think it was either Moonbeam or Moon Glow or something like that. But this is 50% cotton, 50% merino, and I love it. It is such a good yarn for me here in the desert. I am thinking what I'm going to do with this. You don't want to hear my needles. Oh, these are some of the needles I got off of Temu, and I love them. They have a spin cable, and it has a steel cable, so they're very flexible and everything. And this particular set went down really small, like smaller than sock needles in this. And I don't use a lot of bigger needles, so it went up to like, I think maybe a 5mm, something like that, which was more than enough for me. So love these. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do with the Maggie vest is I'm doing it up in this color, and then I've got some black linen fabric. I think I'm gonna make me a maxi skirt. I may do a midi skirt. I'm not sure yet. Haven't completely decided, but anyway, and then I'm going to do black buttons down the front of the Maggie vest, and with the black skirt and some black flip-flops, I think would be super, super cute for the summertime. Fall, winter, whatever for me here. I could use it year round. So yeah, that is the Maggie vest, and very happy with that yarn. Let's see what needle size. I'm using a 4mm. I will say, I decided, normally I use the same exact needle size and get gauge as PetiteKnit. This time I went up on my needle size, and I'm knitting really tight because working with cotton, it's so much easier for it to show discrepancies in yarn tension. So I'm purposely knitting this fairly tight, and it is going a little slower because I'm knitting it tight, but that way I feel like once this is blocked, it's going to have a beautifully even tension across. So I don't mind taking my time with it because it's a project I've been wanting to do for a while now. So there's that. Oh, okay. And my last whip, this one made me sad. If you are not aware, I am in the middle of a knit along for any of my cardigan patterns. So if you want to join, there's still time. It ends the end of April. You don't have to be finished, just buy a pattern and get started. I am a huge cardigan wearer year round. I bought Drops Drops Kid Silk, and I had some Coast, what is it? Where's my brain? Holst Garn Coast, which is 50% wool, 50% cotton. Again, I love that. So I was working up, I've got 2 cardigans, well actually 3 cardigans on the go for that particular knit along. This is my Chestnut Grove cardigan, the fingering and mohair version. You can either use sport or fingering and mohair, kind of a fluffy sport. And I was working on it only to discover that about 6 to 7 inches of my knitting, I was using a different yarn dye, or dye lot. Sorry. So I have to rip all of that out, pick up all of these stitches, get the correct, I don't know how one of the wrong dye lots got in my bag, but it did. I have plenty of the correct dye lot number, but yeah, anyway, long story short, womp womp. Kind of sad about that, but I really, 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 really want this cardigan because it is a neat color and I would wear this so much. As far as my cardigan patterns are concerned, I have to say Chestnut Grove and the Everyday cardigan, I don't know, I like my, I guess it just depends, but as far as everyday wearing, I tend to go for the Chestnut Grove and the Everyday cardigan when I want something, and it's not really dressy, but it's a little more fitted. I do my Sticks and Stones, but yeah, let's see, I don't know what needle size I was using. This, I believe the stitch count is 21 stitches. I should know, it's my pattern. Gauge, 23 stitches. So sport and or fingering and mohair. Yep, that was that. And then the needles, US 6 for the body, US 5 for the hem and cuffs, and US 3 for the button band. And I don't know that I'm gonna put buttons on this one. I think because I never wear them buttoned, I always wear them open front. And ever getting perfect buttons for this, I struggle with buttons because I want them to be perfect. So that is my last FO, which, considering I do have more projects that I have been working on for sure, I could talk longer, but I would probably end up on here for way too long. So that is all I'm going to talk about as far as projects are concerned. Let me verify. So I think that is it as far as all of that. So I'm going to get into live stuff real quick. If you are only here for the knitting/sewing, thank you for stopping by. I hope you will consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you will do me a really quick favor and click the like button, that would really, really help me a lot. So now I'm going to get into live stuff, and I guess I will start with where I have been, and then I will show you what I have been up to. So this past, okay, let me start from the beginning. We moved here about 5 years ago. We moved here 5 years ago. We've been in the house, come September, it will be 5 years. And if you do not know, I have spent my life moving. Childhood life, adult life, I have moved I've said it before, I stopped counting at 150 moves. That was a good 10, 15 years ago when I stopped counting. I gave up at that point. But we have been in this house the longest I have ever been anywhere in my entire life. Most of the time when we move into a new place, I immediately start decorating. When we moved here, it was right when COVID hit, and we bought this house. It was brand new. I really didn't have to do anything to it. And so I've taken my time with reaching the point of finally being ready to decorate. And so this past fall I started, and I am very particular, and I use an app called floorplanner.com, and I do my house floor plan, measure it out and everything. And I have been working for months on deciding the decor. One day I was in TJ Maxx or Home Goods, I can't remember, and I found these curtains that I just fell in love with. And my mother-in-law bought them for me, and the whole decor has been based around those curtains. Crazy way to go about starting, but that was my jumping point. And so I played with all different types of furniture. We looked at, there's a furniture store here called Bob's Furniture. We had looked at that going mid-century modern, but the mid-century modern really didn't work with the velvet curtains. And so we went and looked at having custom furniture done, which was going to be stunning, but I do like to change decor. I get bored easily, and so I didn't want to invest in custom furniture and be stuck with it for the next 20 years. Not that I would be stuck with it, but stuck with the same decor for the next 20 years. And so in the past, we have bought a lot of our furniture from IKEA, and I have for the longest time wanted to get their solid white furniture. It used to be called something else. I believe it is now called the Upland Collection. So we had planned on doing that, and I tell you the reason being is it slip covers. And so as I decide to change my decor, I can just change the slip cover, or if something happens, sorry, there was fuzz in front of me. If something happens to, a cushion or whatever, I can just buy a new slip cover set and it's brand new furniture again. So we went out to IKEA and we were looking at the different pieces and everything, and I really was not impressed with the comfort level of the Upland collection. And it was definitely more traditional than what I care for. I like something to be a little more modern, minimal. This is definitely heavy for me. I normally do like all white, very, very, very minimal. But anyway, so we ended up going with the Basgaith collection. I say collection, we just got the sofa with chase. And then from there, I just started decorating. I did get a new dining room table. The set that we had originally was round. I didn't want round, I wanted rectangle. So we bought that set, and I can't remember what it's called. We'll get into all of that if you're interested. So anyway, I have been decorating, and like I said, I use that website to test it all out. You can get a three-dimensional look on it and really get an idea of what it's going to look like. Another thing with the Basgaith collection is that there is space underneath the sofa. You lift the skirt up and you have storage space. We're in a very small home now. We've moved from the East Coast where houses are a lot larger over here to the West Coast, and yeah, houses are a lot smaller. But we have got to make the most of storage. So I now have 4 huge storage boxes underneath the sofa, and then the chase has storage under it too. So me and my knitting and sewing obsessions, I now have plenty of place to store things. So I've got out of season clothing, and some of my sewing is stored under here. And then I got 2 of the super tall Billy bookcases with an additional piece on top and doors for all of that. So I have storage for yarn. It still isn't enough. Sad to say. So with that said, I decided to get an extra. We have a storage shed on our property, and I got a second storage shed. It's smaller. My son and I built that the other day. If I have bruises all over me, that is why. Built that, and so now I have more of my sewing and knitting and decor items out there. So that has really helped kind of get me organized, which is vital to my creative thinking, day-to-day functioning. I just need organization around me. Chaos and I do not get along. So, where have I been? I have been decorating. I have been painting. I have been building. I have been out of town. There were 3 weeks where the entire family was rotating through that really bad flu that went through this year. That's the first time in 2 years I have been sick. That time was the first time in probably 10 years I had been sick. So it has been a doozy of a year. But it has all been good things with the exception of being sick. But yeah, there's still some more decor stuff for me to do. I bought new lighting fixtures to kind of go with what the style that I have going. And my husband's, somebody that works for my husband up at work is going to come and install the lights for me. Yay! Thank you, Pete. So yeah, I still have a little bit of painting to do. I ran out of tape one day, and yeah, I don't normally tape. As a matter of fact, I've never taped off for painting before. I've always done it by hand. But with these textured walls, it is definitely a lot more challenging. I'm used to smooth walls, and you can hand cut in, or I can hand cut in everything, but the textured walls proved to be very challenging. So decided to tape, ran out of tape, and once I ran out of tape, I ran out of steam. So I have been looking at one section of the main living area that has not been painted for a month now. But with all of that said, I think that's it as far as life stuff going on. If you're interested, I'm going to give you a quick look at what I have been doing, but understand it is not done yet. But I thought it would be fun to kind of share, bring you into my world and share with you what I have been doing. So I am going to pause for just a moment, clean up my mess from podcasting, and then I will walk around with you and show you what I've been working on. Plus, I want to show you my yarn storage. I'm excited about that. So give me just a moment and I will be right back. Okay, I am going to give you a quick look at what I have been working on. Understand that it is not done yet, but it is getting there and I'm so excited. So I am going to flip you around and kind of walk you through. Okay, we're going to start here with what started it all, and that is these curtains. I don't know why I was so drawn to them, but I just love them. So there's one of my Billy bookcases, and you'll have to excuse the cords. The kids did not put the cords away when they were playing a game. Okay, so walk in the door, and you have the living room and the kitchen, and you can see my tape right there hanging down where it ran out. So I still have some of this, all of this, and that wall on the other side. All of that still needs to be done. My entry table is temporarily decorated. My daughter bought me that for Christmas this past year, and it was actually for a different location in the house. So I'm not sure. I need something tall and skinny there, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do there. I may just leave that there because it does look cute. Sorry about the mirror. This is something that does not belong there. Okay, so that's the entryway, and this is the living room. So that is the back sailing, and has the chase. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but it has the chase. The green chair is not going to be staying. I'm trying to find the right chair for this spot. So yeah, let me put this mirror down for a moment. The style of that chair does not work with the back sailing. The color works, but anyway, so my storage for my yarn, and like I said, I don't have all of it in yet, but I am thrilled to have the space that I do have. I do need to get a couple of more shelves. I had to guess. We ordered all of this and had it delivered. So I guessed on shelf number. I'm going to take you over to the other one. Okay. We have our router and all of that good stuff there. And most of my sock yarn. And then what I wanted to do was have this as my summer yarns, my plant fibers. Down there I have some undyed from where I used to dye yarn. And so yeah, that is that storage. And then, like I said, the chase has storage, and I will say the lid to it is black. I'm going to go back and paint that white because you can see, let's see if I can get an angle where you can see the black. Not really, but you can see the black at times. So I'm going to go back and paint that white. Let me move the mirror again. Should have gotten that out of here before. Before I started this. Stick it there for now. Okay. I did get these from IKEA. They're green. I don't know if you can tell. It's a really light green. And what I'm going to do is these are going to come off, and I'm going to attach ribbon and take it and wrap it around crisscross, like it's being laced, and then tie them on that way. So those do have some modifications to be made, but it was nice to have cushions added to that. This is the table and chairs that I ended up with. The chairs are currently gray. I have this fabric here, which maybe, no, it's not the same. This is Robert Kaufman Essex. I don't know which green it is. It is darker than the other greens I've been using. So I'm going to be recovering the seats in that. And I temporarily have our printer right here. That will be going somewhere else eventually. These curtains have not been steamed yet. Just recently got those hung. But I do love them so much. The new lighting is in that box, so once I get those done, I will share that. But as you can tell, that's where the painting stopped. And yeah, I am going to be slowly replacing the wall art, slowly working on the decor. I've got to get something up in there. I temporarily have a little plant up in that one. I've got to find a proper home for this. I think I want to get a plant stand to go right there, and so it can have good light. That's why I've got it on the corner right there. But yeah, so that is it. It has been, sorry I don't have a gimbal, guys. Hopefully the shaking is not too bad. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to flip this back around. So that is it, and I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I have enjoyed sharing all of this with you. Sorry for the shaking. But I will start podcasting again on a regular basis. And so that is it for today. Don't forget the Basgaith sock is available, and the flame section will be available in 2 weeks. If you have not signed up for my newsletter, I will have that link in the description box, and that way when and or follow me on Instagram. My link for that is in the description box. That way, once new patterns are released, you will know about it. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye.